Llama fights.
What? Why?
You see, I want to play a game.
Pokemon X and Y. But why these two? X and Y was one of the better generations.
Come on, let's play them.
But they still kind of suck.
Oh, come on, this is when they made the big jump to 3D.
And when they started showing warning signs of what's to come. No. Just these. Just these. We're only gonna talk about these. Wow! The new Pokemon has some substantial changes for the better. Pokemon are in 3D! Whoa! Maybe Game Freak isn't a money-grubbing disgrace to video gaming after all. Celebratory freeze frame! This is where it all began. But they're still good. We can't blame X and Y for them. No, but we should have known. The signs were there. What signs? The game itself is as mediocre as it's always been. Awkward, locked overhead camera, terrible user interface, as well as grandfathering over all the bad hardware limiting decisions the Game Boy made for functionality without a single attempt at updating the gameplay. However, this one's great for shiny hunting with consecutive fishing, the friend safari, and the return of the Poké Radar. The new Poké Radar is garbage because of that fixed camera locked to your face like a selfie stick. And the rarity of shinies were literally halved. Aside from the fact that they kept that shiny charm abomination, destroying their value. Well, I loved shiny hunting personally, but most players don't care about that. What about the game itself? It's still sluggish and laggy turn-based combat between agonizingly slow-paced hand-holding. It's archaic, overdone, lazy, and disappointing. Also, the new XP share and Mega Evolution turn this game into an absolute joke. Each route includes so many new potential powerful new allies, the game floods you with options, removing any semblance of a challenge. Okay, well, nobody plays Pokemon for challenging gameplay. What about those entire sections of the game that went completely unused? That's not just bad game design, that's straight up short-sighted management. Well, we were expecting a Pokemon Z to utilize them, but honestly, that's still pretty lazy and leaves the game incomplete. You know when the top 10 competitive teams of the game are all variations of the exact same Pokemon? You've got a problem here. What are you doing? Huh? Oh, sorry. I was playing a better game. In hindsight, these models and animations are quite poor. There are so many lazy decisions, we can't even possibly list them all in a video like this. But Pokemon are in 3D! Aside from the awful downscaling, which is to be expected on the 3DS, the actual game world looks like a cheap mobile game. But Pokemon in 3D! The attack animations don't line up at all, the menus are just as disorganized and hard to navigate as always. I can pet them! In 3D! But don't worry, I'm sure when they finally bring Pokemon to home consoles, they'll fix all of these oversights. Mega kissy face. And what's with the legendaries? We got a rainbow deer and a bacon bird. Why is it always deer? They just poop in my yard. Why is that special? They make my backyard the toilet of the forest. And Game Freak is the toilet of the Pokemon Company. Oh, gonna need a burn heal.
Yeah, right, because you're afraid of spoilers in a Pokemon game. What's wrong with you?
Oh man. The ending was actually pretty nice with AZ getting his Pokemon back though. It was like the only memorable moment in any Pokemon game story I've ever seen. That is not saying a lot. I played Y, and honestly the story seemed like so hinged on Yveltal and the bad guys trying to force its apocalyptical awakening. I had no idea how it would translate over to X for Xerneas. It didn't. They clearly just wrote the game for Y and then just pasted over Xerneas in for X. The story makes no literal sense. The bad guys are straight up evil for trying to unleash the loving power of Rainbow Deer. So, this time we got Team Flare and Lysander. The Flare grunts were pretty funny, but they were just more dimwits blindly following a complete lunatic toward an apocalyptical event just like Team Galactic. How can it even become a regular reoccurring thing? It's just so outlandishly stupid. And not the funny kind of stupid. A lot of people like Lysander for some reason. Yeah, he's kind of king hypocrite leading his army of brainless monkeys to their doom. You know, I normally don't mind raging idiots. It's when they lead an entire community of raging idiots that risk causing serious damage to everybody else that I have a problem. You mean like PokeTubers? Don't go there. Or anti-vaxxers? Better stop before they hear you. Or literally everybody on Reddit. You are creating so many enemies. Can we please just get back on track? The less trolls and morons watching, the better. HamsterBomb is for people of class. So wait, how's the game's actual story? 4 rivals was a stupid idea. Forgettable, samey, doesn't hold up to older generations at all. Is it a good time to bring up the new Pokemon cries? This seems like a huge blunder in sound design. Well, I know they're different now, even after all this time, but it's an understandable update alongside the hardware upgrade. I've always been a fan of keeping some nostalgic bits and upgrading and improving as you go on, so it's not that bad. Not that bad? Do you think it's fine to just suddenly change and digitally soil each and every original Pokemon cry like that? Did you appreciate what happened to the Star Wars movies after George Lucas got his hands on some better technology? Well, how would you feel if I suddenly
Sounded like this. Nothing wrong with a little update, right?
make it stop?
Why should I?
It's wrong. It's morbidly uncomfortable. Hearing something so absolutely twisted and still yet recognizable stabbing my ears and bastardizing everything I know.
Exactly.
Do you want a simple, relaxing RPG that you can sink a good 30 hours into? Do you play a game just because there's Pokemon in it? If you honestly haven't played this one as a Pokemon fan, it's still worth picking up. Do you play a game just because there's Pokemon in it? Okay, so are you trying to tell me that without the Pokemon IP, this game wouldn't be worth playing? What I'm saying is that giving Game Freak the Pokemon IP is like giving a baby a Magnum. Do you play a game just because there's Pokemon in it? The positive gamer in me had a great time playing Pokemon X&Y, giving it a solid 8 out of 10. Things like story and challenge aren't what I'm looking for in a Pokemon game. What I look for is lots of Pokemon, things to do with them, tons of ways to hunt them down, and as a Pokemon game, it's pretty solid. The critical gamer in me gives Pokemon X&Y a 6 out of 10. It's a slightly above average score for a slightly above average game. Though it has its fair share of problems, the sheer amount of labor in visual updates from Gen 5 must be appreciated, regardless of how badly they'll be misused in the future. But what do you think? Let us know how your positive and critical sides rate Pokemon X&Y in the comments below. If you think these games are amazing just because they're Pokemon in 3D, you're just playing with yourself. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another episode of Playing With Myself. I really want to take a step back here for a moment and thank all the good people on Patreon who help make this happen. I love doing what I do, and you guys are the only people who are able to help me keep doing this, because what I do takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and it's expensive. So I just wanted to step back for a moment and thank the good people: Atomic Thomas, Crystal, Sid, Denny, Eric, America, Pyro Joe, Rowan, and Squat Fam. You guys are amazing and help me keep doing what I do every day, and I love it, and I thank you guys so much for this. If you want to be one of the helpful people over on Patreon, there's links down in the description, as well as links to Discord and all sorts of other stuff that you should be digging into if you haven't heard of it already. Be sure to like the videos and subscribe for more, and be sure to thank these people from Patreon down in the comments, because of them, this episode won't be the last.
Oh, what does it mean? It's so cryptic.
If you have a game you want to see a positive and critical review of, then let me know what kind of game you would want to see down in the comments below. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.